Yeah, I got hit niggas sick that I'm still on that hill.
Alright guys, so as you guys can tell, we're ready from the tape that says VFC performance, and I guess you guys always can tell there's only 2 boxes. So if you guys know VFC, you guys know it's straight what this is. But let's go check out what I got. Alright guys, you guys probably can see through the wrap already, but I did get me some B-locks, the same as what I have on my car, which on my car is called Warp Star, and these are the srt.1 B-locks that are built just like the OEM wheels that's on my car, which definitely came out good. I went ahead and shipped out my center cap off my car, of my original wheels, out to them so they can try to paint match as close as possible to the stock one so it can match. But as you guys can see, these are definitely clean. I picked these up. These are definitely feel solid. I can't imagine somebody having 20-inch wheels. I feel like if you had 20-inch wheels just like it was on the car, you hit a big ass dip, that them shits probably won't even barely even dent up how strong these feel. But I did get the carbon fiber ring, and I also had them do the VFC performance with the red accent with the black end so it can match the calipers. And then I also did these titanium hardware. So yeah, so titanium, a little bit more lightweight. Let's go ahead and take these out. I can pick this joint up with one hand. But definitely, definitely are clean. If you want to go OEM plus, most likely VFC is probably the best option. If you want to go OEM plus with your wheels, they could also probably do custom wheels that you might have got for your car and want to change them into like B-locks or have a different size for them. They probably would be able to do that for you because they can do renderings and all that and send it out to you before they start making them, which they did for me. They sent me a rendering of these wheels and how they would look, and I told them, yep, go ahead, and they started making them. And I don't even think these took that long. I think it was like maybe like 3-4 months for them to make it, which ain't too bad depending on what type of car you have. Okay, I know JDM cars, it might take a year for you to even try to get some wheels from a company. But definitely they did a good job making these. These are 17 by 11. So the same width as my regular wheels on my car, just drop down from a 20 to a 17. So I can also put on some, as you guys can see, some Mickey Thompson 315 50 17, because as you guys know, I'm pushing more horsepower, and now those Pirellis are definitely trash. All you can do is spin. You can be at 60 miles per hour, punch it, and it just spins like crazy. So I definitely had to go get me some B-locks so it can handle that power. I was also thinking about doing Toyota R888Rs, but as you guys know, for these cars, if you want to get some drag radials for these cars, they only come with like a 30 profile for a 7 for what's on that car, for that 20-inch, which originally on that car is a 35, either a 35 or 40. That's on the stock wheels. So you gotta go with a smaller side profile to try to run some drag radials on there. Which I'm thinking maybe I might do it for the front. But at that point you have to worry about if you do hit something, now your rims are sitting a little bit lower, it ain't gonna have much cushion. But people say you can't really tell from a 35 to a 30. So maybe I might do it for the front. I might go with something else for the front. But as right now, these definitely gonna probably look good with my car the way I'm building it. Might take it to the track, but I have to do some other supported mods before I can push the car on the drag strip. Might do it, might not. But let's go ahead and install these tires onto these B-locks, and I can show you guys the process. I also got OEM TPM sensors that I'm also gonna put on there and see if they will activate by themselves or not, or I might have to go buy the TPM's tool, remote tool, or just take it to somebody to program them to the car. So I don't have to go back and forth trying to use like a tire pressure gauge to see what they at. I can know ahead of time while I'm driving if I need to put air in it or not, or lower the pressure. But let's get into the install. Alright guys, so we can go ahead and take out these titanium hardware with this 516, this H516 hex. And after we take this off, then we're going to try to install the TPM sensor in it, and then we can install the tire. And there we go, we got all of them out. This is what the titanium ones look like. I think they can also do any other color too, if you want to. And there goes the ring. This is what the back look like. Solid. And you can see the carbon. They're definitely a solid piece. And then this is what the wheel looked like with the ring off of it. Definitely make some quality work. Let me get that TPM sensor. And also to note that if you do go with some smaller rim, like how I went, you could use like the factory lug nuts, but if you use the factory lock nut that come with it, it would not fit. I test fitted these on the car, but to try to fit a tool with that lock nut would not fit, so I had to go buy some aftermarket ones, which I'm gonna show in a second. But I did have to go do that. But here's our TPM sensor from Dodge. And then the part number is 68487472AB-001. So if you guys ever need to buy some TPM sensor for some aftermarket wheels or put back into your wheel, that's the part number for it. But let's go ahead and get into installing this. Alright guys, so I'm about to go put in a TPM sensor. I'm about to put it in this way, where the cream color is pointing towards the rim, inside the rim. Then screw the top piece on. And then we're gonna get our tool to tighten it up, so because it also have like a seal around that module piece, where when you start tightening up, it's gonna seal, so no air or ain't no gap to leak any of the air coming out of it. So let's go ahead and tighten that down. Alright guys, so we're gonna take our 12mm socket to tighten up. Go ahead and take off the center cap because it ain't gonna fit over. It's not gonna fit inside the socket, and we're just gonna tighten it until it's sealed. I'm just holding the other side. Let me get a extension so I don't scratch up these wheels. I'm also trying not to break this sensor. Alright guys, so I tighten up, so you would just tighten up until this black little seal is spread around it, so it should be good. And then you can go ahead and try to put the tire on it, get some water, some soap, and spray it on the back of the tire, and then try to slam it on top of this, and then put it where it needs to be, and then we can put the ring on and then fill it up with air. Yeah, cool. Alright guys, so we're about to go put these on. These are rotational, as they have the little rotational, and so when the air was gonna go. So make sure that your tires are, if it's not rotational, make sure before you put on the next tire on the next rim, so you know they are the correct way. But I'm gonna go ahead and start spraying some soapy water on the back of it, and then try to put it on the tire, put it on the rim. Alright, so I got my soap and water and a spray bottle. Go ahead and just take this out. I'm just gonna do it around the edge to help it. So I'm about to go ahead and try to slam it on top of it.
You ain't got to slam it on. Just push it. It'll go on by itself. You don't have to slam it. Just push it on. Put on one side first. Put on one side.
Guys, so we got the tire on the B-locks now. Took a while to get them on because me and my dad had to use like flathead and try to get the lip over the tire lip over the rim, but now we got it sealed. We used a hammer to try to just check and make sure it was sealed. But now I'm about to put it on the ring and then hand tighten the bolts and then do the torque specs that's needed. Alright guys, so I'm trying to tighten it up evenly. So I put the ring on. I'm going from each side, left to right, up and down, to tighten it evenly before I try to do the other one because it's far away from the tire. So I gotta apply some pressure. Gotta apply some pressure on these ones. Alright guys, so the 4 bolts that you see in there, we tighten them up so it can sit level to put all the holes in, so it makes it easier to put all the other ones in. And then after we put Loctite on those bolts and put all them in, we're gonna unbolt the other 4s and put Loctite on them, and then we can start doing a torque spec for them. So right now he's about to put some blue Loctite.
That's what I want. Put on one on. this one here. This one here.
Alright guys, so now we got all done with Loctite. So we're gonna go in start pattern, and then we're gonna go do the specs. Which VFC give me the information for the specs for them, which is you're gonna do 10 foot-pounds of torque, then you're gonna do 18 foot-pounds of torque, then you're gonna do 22 pounds of foot torque, and then you're gonna check for any leaks. Then they want you to drive it for 20-50 miles, and then try to re-torque them from 22 foot-pounds of torque, just to check it over again. Then you're doing it in a star pattern, as like you would do it as putting on like regular locks, plug nuts on them. So let me get the torque wrench, and then we can go ahead and start that. Alright guys, so this is what the wheel look like on the tire now. Definitely gonna look great on top of the car. Can't wait to put it on the car. Unfortunately it's raining, so I ain't gonna be able to do it today. But I'm about to go put some air in it. Alright guys, so now we putting air in it. All we need is spray soap and water. Is it even leaking in here?
I don't think it's leaking. Put up and look at it. Make sure it's come out good at the back and everything. Everything should be good. Sealing good on everything. Everything come out and seal.
Looks like it. Yep.
Take way back down. A little bit more on the touch.
Most likely, probably put it at. Most likely, probably put like maybe like 32 psi, the factory air. So that's what I was seeing on the internet. When you get the TPM sensor, to put it to the factory psi into the tires, and it might activate it. So you still gotta drive it for like maybe 15, 20, 25 minutes. Alright guys, as you can see, we got both of them on. We went ahead and just did the other one. And definitely some meaty tires. Can't wait to see what they look like on the car, but that's probably gonna be the next day because it did rain and it is getting late. But these definitely look good. Might have to raise the rear a little bit depending on how close the fender is to the tire. But I cut to the next of us putting it on and showing you guys what the new lock nuts are. Alright guys, so we took off the stock wheel. Now we're going to put on the V-lock. And drag it up a little bit more. What do you need help for? Guys, we got all the lug nuts on. Now we just have to put the lock nuts, which I went with Gorilla, which you could just put in your model of your car and it will show you all the ones that's compatible to your car. So I got this because the stock one doesn't fit with the tool on it, so you definitely have to get aftermarket lock nuts for them. Let's go ahead. And we torque these down to 115. That should be the factory specs for them. And you see, I can put the tool on there now.
So that means you ain't never gonna be able to retire, right?
Yeah. Is this the recording?
Alright guys, so as you guys can see, I got the wheels on it. Definitely gives a more aggressive look. But looks like I'm gonna have to go take my car to get the alignment again with these new wheels so I can air out. Matching it. And then I'm gonna show you guys air it out because I'm not gonna be able to go too much air out because I'm gonna have to get a alignment. So one side go lower than the other. is the end of the video. I will be doing a video of driving it with the slicks on and see how it compares to the Pirellis, which is probably gonna be a big difference with this car. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.